Hi guys, this is Jenny from Art by Jenny K. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make these really cute little notebooks. I saw a tutorial on how to make a wallet out of a book cover, and the person sewed vinyl over it and sewed it to the cardstock and things like that, and then made a space for a wallet inside. And I thought, that's a really cool little idea, except I don't want to sew it, and I don't really want it to be wallet sized. I want it to be notebook sized. So this is what I came up with. So I came up with this really cute little notebook that you can make inserts for. This one is from a magazine. I cut out a picture from a magazine, and I did put some contact paper over it, some vinyl contact paper over it to see how that would work instead of the clear vinyl the person used. Theirs had snaps to hold it shut and was a little bit wider. I just put in a little hole and used an elastic tie. This is actually a hair tie. And I made it so that you could slide in different things. So then I created this little notebook, this little notepad. You can see I used junk. I used an old piece of a calendar, and because I like the stripes on this side that you could see. And then I have some just scrap papers. I have some regular plain kind of beigey manila-y paper. Then I have some coffee dyed paper. That I just alternated, and I stapled them together, and you can just slide the little insert into your notebook holder and then put it shut. So I thought this would be really great to put in a purse or a backpack, something like that, so that you could always jot down something. I don't know about you, but I'm always looking for a piece of paper to write a note on, something that I need to remember, or an idea that I have kind of in the middle of, doing something else. So this one is, like I said, covered in some clear contact paper. This is not. This one is the same thing. I used another magazine page, and I liked the quote on it. And I just backed it with cardstock on the inside to give it some heft, so that it would toughen up the magazine page. Again, I just used leftover. You can see I have a piece of leftover cardstock. I like the green that's this side up, but it's got some markings on the back. And this one just has plain manila kind of paper. I had quite a bit of that left in just a kind of a scrap heap. I had some bigger pieces, so I cut them down to that. Oops. And then it just slides right in. And this one is another one from the same magazine. I did the same thing here, same manila paper, and it just has a cute picture on the front. And I thought these were really, really cute. Then I thought, in addition to putting something in your purse, you could make a really great little tuck for a junk journal. So I did this one with a ribbon. And then I decorated the front with one of my little clusters there's a couple little book pages and a couple pieces of lace and a button. And then this is just some punched out cardstock in a kind of a little lacy pattern. So this was a piece of a calendar cover as well. And you can see on the inside, it had some writing and stuff on it. So I covered it with, I just backed it with some graph paper, so it had something interesting on the inside. And then I used another piece of that same cover. You can see the old calendar page as the backing, right? So that I could tuck it in. It just needs something with a little bit of body to it to tuck in. So it's got a butterfly on one side and a flower on the other, and it matches, what's sort of on the outside here. It kind of has that same look to it from the same calendar. So you can see the same flowers. Might have even actually cut it off from up there. It's possible. So, it was just scrap stuff hanging around. But I thought this would make a really cute little tuck into a junk journal. You could put it into a pocket or an envelope in a junk journal. Another thing you could do is, instead of putting in the whole little notebook, if you wanted to, you could just stick some tags or some ephemera in here. This would be really great in Happy Mail. It would have a lot of great little uses, I think. So the one we're going to do today, I was thinking too, it would be cute for a Valentine's Day present for some of my girlfriends. So I'm going to make a couple that are kind of Valentine's themed. So here's what I started with. So I started with a piece of paper cardstock that's 7 inches wide by 5 inches high. And this is, again, from an old calendar. I have a couple of them here that are from calendars, and you can say it's from the same calendar page. I just cut them apart. It has, you know, some writing on it that I like, and so I just cut a piece. And then there was stuff on the back you can kind of see through if you look. So I just put some pink kind of paper lining on it just to cover up what's on the back. I mean, you can kind of still see that there was something written there, but you can't tell what it was, and it doesn't really matter. I mean, it was a calendar page. So we're going to start with those, and then we're just going to fold in the edges, and we're going to fold it this way, and we're going to punch our hole, and then we're going to make a little notebook out of 4.5 inch squares of paper and a piece of cardstock. So this is my little demo that I cut up some old paper to use. So let's just go ahead and do this and see if we can get started on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold it in half first, just because I think it might be easier. Just didn't quite get that half. Just to make a crease there. Right. And my paper wrinkled a little because I glued that paper on the inside, but you're not going to see that because your notebook is going to be in the middle, so it's not like it's going to show too much. And if it wrinkles a little bit, well, it wrinkles a little bit, you know. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm striving for it doesn't have to be perfect, right? I am going to measure though, just to see. I want about 3/4 of an inch. An inch is a little too much. So right about here. But you know, it doesn't have to, again, doesn't have to be perfect, but I would like it to be about 3/4 of an inch, and that seems about right. So just gonna fold that in and crease it. My paper seems to, may have to re-glue some edges here. I did the first several out of magazine pages, and they were fun because I really like, you know, pictures from magazines. I think the photography in a lot of the magazines is just beautiful. So I think, you know, you can find some really great photography in magazines, and then you can, oops, not sure I got that one quite straight. And then you can reuse those to make something that you can keep. This paper seems to be peeling up on me a little bit there, so I may have to glue that down here when I'm done. Okay, so we have our basic kind of fold. So let me grab my glue. Should have brought it with me, I didn't. Of course, you know, you think you're all ready to do this and you're not quite as ready as you think you are. So I'm going to grab my glue, and I'm also going to grab, sorry about the noise there, some little clamps to hold the glue while we make the insert. So it seems to me like it worked a little bit better when I put the glue on and put a clamp on it and let it dry a little bit. So just on the edges, just to hold it closed. I'm just gonna clamp that down. And this one too. The paper's fighting me a little bit here. Then we'll glue the other side and we'll let it dry just a little bit while we make the insert. And then we'll punch our holes and we'll be good. So. Okay. There's one, we'll set that one aside to dry. We'll do this one. We'll do the same thing. About 3/4 of an inch. I guess I could fold it in half first. Just to get a little... You could stitch if you want to stitch these. You certainly could, just the same way I saw in the little tutorial I watched on making the wallet. And I will link that to show you where I got the original idea for this, because the whole idea is not mine. It's just kind of my take on it. I'm not doing a very good job here of measuring. I just keep having to remeasure. Some days are like that, I think. So I will link that though below this video so that you can see the idea I got. The funny thing is I came across it when I was looking for Valentine gifts for my husband. I usually make something for him because we have a rule at our house that you're not allowed to spend more on Valentine's Day than the number of years we've been married. So you get $1 for every year. And so you imagine our first year wasn't very much. But then again, our first year we were pretty broke. So it was probably a good thing. So this year we have been married almost 27 years. So it'll be 27 years in March. So he would have $26 to spend because our anniversary isn't until after Valentine's Day. And I have $26 to spend. And some years it's more of a challenge than others. And some years we have had a lot of fun coming up with something small that we have made. So I came across this idea when I was looking for something I could make him for Valentine's Day, that I could spend a little bit of money on maybe materials and make him something interesting. And I found this little wallet pattern. And so then I saw it and thought, oh, a notebook would be much more fun. Because I don't think he would want the wallet, although I really like the wallet, but maybe not for him because he's not of the same taste that I am. Okay, so for our insert, while we're letting that dry, for our insert, we're going to cut 4.5-inch squares of paper. Now, I used 10 because I thought it made a really nice notebook, because of course then you get, 2 sides on each one, so you've got 20, 40 little sides that you can write on in your notebook. So I thought that was a good amount, and obviously if you want it to be a little thinner, you could go with less, less bulk, fewer pages, right? So I just have pages, that I cut from this and that. So I've got a coffee dyed page. I've got just some notebook paper that was laying around. I've got some pink paper. There's a kind of beigey piece of not quite cardstock and another piece of pink. And then I have a piece of cardstock that I'm going to use to be the back so that I can slide it in to the edges. So all of that just gets cut to 4.5 inches square, which seemed to be a good size inside. It made it fit made it fit pretty well. And then you do it just like you're doing a signature. So you fold them all first and then stack them all up. You can clip them if you want to clip them. If you do. We're just going to staple. You could, if you were making, you know, a fancy little booklet out of maybe some vintage ephemera or something, you might want to actually sew it. But since I'm making just a little notebook that I'm going to stick in, you know, my purse, these are for my friends to just, you know, stick in their purse, something like that. I'm just going to staple. Right? And so that's really all there is to that, you know. So then you have, this is the piece that's going to hold it in, and then you have, you know, 40 little pages of notebook. So let's pull one of those back and finish it off. So we clamped it down a little bit, let it dry. It didn't take very long. Should probably put this glue away before the little stopper dries out. Didn't take very long. I'm gonna have to do something with these. Maybe I have to ink up those edges or something. So I have some little hearts that we could put on one, but the pink seems to be a good choice. So we're just gonna eyeball that, I think, halfway. Right, doesn't have to be too perfect here. Put a little heart on. I love this little crocodile. I had wanted one for quite a while, and my husband got me one for my birthday, and I've been so happy to have it. I don't think I pushed that hard enough. It was on there, but there we go. That one went. Still, I'm trying to figure out why I'm having trouble with this paper, but that's okay. I'll go back and sand it maybe. Maybe I'll just take my little sanding block and take the edge of it off. So our little notebook is just going to fit right inside the edge. Just like that. Pop it in there. So, and once you get it in, you can just kind of make it so that it's centered. And then I have, so I should have done this, huh? I have just some hair ties that from when my hair used to be long that I actually never wore. I have all these hair ties, you know, I think I wore one hair tie once maybe, even when my hair was longer. So I just thought it would be a good use of those because, you know, they're nice and elasticy. And then you can just pop it shut like that. And so there's the basic notebook. Of course, if we wanted to, you know, bling it up a little bit, you know, we could always put some washi tape on it along the edge. I don't want to put too much on there because I don't really want it to be, I don't want stuff sticking up off of it because I'm going to give it to somebody to put in their purse. So it seems like it would be better if it were flatter without too much stuff coming up on it. Let's go ahead and do the other one. Maybe we'll decorate it. Right, and I have my other paper here that I have ready. I have a white piece of cardstock on this one. So we can go ahead and prep that. Let's maybe decorate the front before we punch our little hole in it. Let's see how that works. So I'm just gonna clip these together so they stay. right, so that will be ready when we're ready for it. And this one I'm having that same trouble. Maybe I could put some washi tape down the edges and stuff. Might be really cute. I've got this really cute blossomy tape. Might take care of that. I'm not sure why this paper is doing that. I haven't had this problem on any of the other papers, but it's okay. We can always fix it, right? It's just paper. And that's the beauty of things made from paper, is we can fix it, and even if we can't fix it, it's just paper. So if something happens and it doesn't work out, we can just try again. No harm, no foul. So, oh, that's kind of cute with the edge on there. So let's do the same thing on the back. And I brought along a couple of little paper doilies and stuff too. I was thinking I might, bling these up a little bit. As I said, they're gifts for a couple of my friends. So I'm working from home and they're not these days. So I don't get to see them nearly as much, although we do WebEx fairly frequently. So I do get to see them there. One of them bought me a really cute shirt for my birthday, so I want to make sure to put something cute in their mailboxes. Right? So I'm thinking something a little bit different. I like that. Maybe the polka dots. Maybe a different floral. I kind of like the stripes. Let's do that down the center, just because it seems like that center is kind of doing the same thing the edges were doing there for some reason. Oops. It's just not loving being folded today, I guess. So it is from a planner. So I have last year's planner that I cut up because I really liked the pages in it. It was really cute. And we can fold it in and put one on the inside too, just to cover up some of those wrinkles, right? So just so it's not perfect, it's okay. There we go. That gives it a little added strength, and then kind of keeps that edge from peeling up a little bit. And we still have our crease, and all is right with the world. That's cute. Yeah, I like that. I think that's pretty cute. So let's get the washi tape out of the way and see what else I have. I've got a couple cute little things we can use a piece of, maybe. Got some flowers. Might be really cute on there. Got a couple butterflies. Let's see what all I brought along here. This one's kind of pretty. Well, that's kind of cute, huh? So maybe down a little bit. Maybe a little bit of the a little bit of that. Rather like that. We're going to do this before we punch the hole, so if I punch the hole somewhere over on top of it, it'll all go together there. You can add a little butterfly up here just for just for fun. Maybe over a little bit. Oh, coming in on our flower there. I like this because the yellowy orange kind of echoes this flower. And the pink, yep, that's looking good. I think that's cute. And that'll finish this off, and then we'll just punch our hole and have this all ready. And you can see that this is a pretty fast little thing that you could make to put in a journal, or as I said, to give as a separate gift, which is what I'm gonna do. Just gonna send these to some of my friends in their mailbox. Oh, I had 2 of them. Who knew? Double the fun. All right. So I don't know. I think Valentine's Day, my husband and I, like I said, are all about just, you know, you can spend like $1 for every year. I like Valentine's Day, but I kind of think it's overrated. I feel like it's one of those holidays that, you know, the greeting card companies have made so that people buy more cards and spend more money, and you know, so we tend to do the homemade route. One year I made salt dough magnets for his whiteboard. We've bought boxes of inexpensive little Valentines and turned them into other things and used those as the basis for cards. One of the best, I think, Valentine's presents he gave me one year was he went to the dollar store and got a vase at the dollar store and some colored paper, and he cut out a bunch of hearts in different colors of paper, and he wrote things that he would do on them, and once a week, there were 52 of them, so once a week I drew one, and it would be something that he would do for me. So it might be, you know, I will pack a picnic and take you to the park. I will watch our child at the time, who is now grown and gone. I'll watch jazz so that you can spend some time in your art studio. Things like that. So I will, you know, he would write, I will get the groceries, I will fix dinner. And so every week for a whole year, he did something that gave me time, leisure, things like that. And that was worth so much more than any other present he could possibly give me. So those are the kinds of things that we like to do for Valentine's Day. And so I think this is kind of in that spirit with my friends of, you know, I want to give you something, but I want to give you something that is indicative of my time and my care. So that is what I'm doing. So I'm going to make, probably about 5 or 6 of these before I'm done, that are Valentine themed, right? And so there we have it. That one's all done, ready to go for one of my friends. So I hope you really liked this. If you like what I'm doing here and you'd like to support me, you can always buy me a cup of coffee. You can check out our website. The links are below. I hope you have a fabulous day. Thanks for watching. Bye.